Hi guys, yes, I'm at the lake. I'm getting water right now. We are in a big drought and I have to bring water to our neighbor now daily, who doesn't have enough water for the cows anymore. It's quite serious for some farmer. They're not getting enough winter feed, but we have the lake. So this trailer here right behind me will fit about 500 to 600 liters of water in there. And we are driving one of these now almost every day to give water to the animals. We haven't watered our garden at all, and our greenhouse we just water once a week or every 2 weeks, something like that. Has been going really well, but ideally we want to have a line down to a water line from the lake leading up to the farm. But there are several options there. You know, we're talking to maybe have a solar driven pump down here, but that's limited. We're talking about to either put a strong pump that can suck a far distance up to the farm, and that's very expensive, or we would put a pump down here that doesn't need to be as strong because it has a better effect when it pushes the water, but then you have to pay an expensive electric cable down to the lake. Our farm is pretty much placed perfectly here. I don't really think we thought of that when we purchased it, when my parents bought the farm. But you know, we don't have these huge mountains where we could have mudslide or flooding. If we have a drought, we have the lake. You know, we have the peninsula and are quite protected even from forest fires in that sense. We're quite protected from a lot of predators since we are on the peninsula. We are you know, very well positioned. The only thing is that we don't have a creek or a river running on the homestead, which makes the water situation a little more challenging. You know, I really like the polyphase farm methods where they have gravity fed water down on the farm, where they build ponds up in the mountains. It's just an amazing system. We have a very hard time implementing any kind of ram pump here or anything like that. So we'll have to see. They start doing these deep drilled wells here, but that would be extremely expensive for us because we don't have much rock right where we are. It's just a few hundred yards further south off of the peninsula where we live. There's more solid rock, and then you have the sea level further down, and that just gets very expensive when you do deep drilled wells because they have to put something around the hole to make it steady. So the water situation is a little bit what's tricky on our homestead. I also wanted to give you guys an update on how my deep bedding is going. If you have followed us throughout the winter, this channel is now 9 months old. You have seen us put the cows on a deep bedding, put corn in it. The pigs were on here later, and then I just pushed it on a pile and I aerated the pile a few times now throughout the summer. And if you look at this, this is just the most incredible stuff now that is so amazing for us. Wherever we'll put it, if we'll put it on the garden or if we will put it on the fields, it's just absolutely incredible stuff. I just have to think a lot of a comment from one of you guys. It wasn't meant in a bad way, it was just a comment, but the person said that, you know, I understand if you would want to do this with hundreds of cows, but it's a little out of proportion for the few cows that you have. And you know, I'm just thinking, I'm super happy that I have all of this compost. I know exactly what's in here. This is compost produced here on the farm, which will give us better topsoil, better gardens, better pasture, and so on. So I'm super thankful for this. The nicest, fluffiest stuff. If I think about, if you leave the deep beddings there, they're just going to turn hard like concrete. They're super hard to deal with, and this is just absolutely amazing. I also wanted to show you guys how this controlled mob grazing is going for me. Right now the cows are actually on the neighbors' pastures, where I have just opened them up and they walk freely all over the neighbor's land, partially because they wanted it like that, but also because the terrain is quite difficult there for me to put mobile fences up all the time. But here where I am standing right now is where I have moved the cows daily. I've just given them enough pasture for one day, and they ate or trampled down everything. So once I moved them on, there was pretty much no standing grass. And now you see this, and even though we have been going through a drought, all the pastures, all the fields of the or pastures of the farms around me where they don't do this mob grazing, they're all brown, just like the pasture where my cows are on right now. But this one, it's just amazing to me. I don't know why, but you see the grass that's growing here, it's green, it looks fresh, and I know exactly how much pasture I have left, and I will do another round this year of controlled grazing over this. Now let me show you how the pasture looks where the cows are on right now, and you just see the crazy big difference, and it's just mind-blowing to me. Now remember the fresh green grass that you just saw in the last shots? And now here behind me is where the cows are on right now. It's a big field where they've been on now for quite a while, and they'll still be on there for a while, but it's actually not fun for the cows, you know. Our neighbors wanted them to walk freely because they thought, you know, that's what they want to do. They want to walk freely and be able to do that, you know. But the truth is that right now it's fun for them for a couple days, and then they're eating in their own manure. And you see, this field is right now continuously being undergrazed in some areas and being overgrazed in some other areas. And that's why this pasture also never gets rest. The overgrazed areas can never recover, and they can never rebuild fresh, nice grass like you saw in the shots before here. And the undergrazed areas, well, they just grow up, they become thick woody grass. The cows don't like it anymore. And weeds, the plants that they don't like to eat so much, they are the ones that are not being grazed properly. They are increasing on the pasture. So this pasture is, it looks very dry, very dead, and not good at all. To me it's just amazing difference. Let me show you one more aspect of the mob grazing where you move them daily. That is amazing on this example here on the pasture where it's not working. So now right here behind me, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a heavy load of cow manure right here, because since the cows have a whole field to themselves, this is where they come most of the time to chew on their grass and start the whole digestive system. This is where they go, and this is where most of the manure load will end up. So when we move the cows daily, we get the cow manure spread all over the pasture evenly. In this system right now, some of the pasture doesn't get any manure, some of it gets too much. So that's one of the effects. That's why we don't do this anymore. Well guys, that's it for today. That was a little update on the farm. I hope you enjoyed it. It's probably one of the last really warm summer days here. A bunch of trees are starting to turn colorful already, but that might be because of the drought. But we have definitely had some cold and now starting a little bit wetter weather, which we need more rain. But it's definitely a fall feeling in many evenings and mornings, and the weather is supposed to get a little bit more like that. So I think we'll enjoy the rest of the day, go down to the lake. And you know, many of you guys are wondering, why haven't I taken you to the lake yet? Why have I not taken you on the lake yet? Why'd you not put your boat in the lake? Well, where we put our boat in, the water's very shallow right now because of the drought, and we haven't been able to put it in the lake. So then we have been busy, we didn't have the time to fix a different solution. And you know, it's kind of a bummer, but if you live here, you sometimes miss out on what other people come here for. You know, they come here for the outdoor activities, and if you live here and work here, it's easy to miss out on that stuff. But I hope to take my family down to the lake now and chill a little bit, enjoy the summer. So thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.